Go against go against the status quo. That's what we're talking about here. Go against the status quo. Cause some of y'all comfortable doing things that you shouldn't be comfortable doing. You're comfortable. You're comfortable going to work every day. You're comfortable driving hours and hours to get to work every day. You're comfortable staying at a place for 10 hours that nobody is talking about anything of substance. You're comfortable with that. You're comfortable when you need money and you gotta go work overtime and sacrifice your quality time with your family, your real friends now. Your real friends, because you ain't seen them in a while because you've been working so much. Because every time you need money, you gotta go ask some imaginary god for money. And by
What are you doing today that makes you better than the person you were yesterday? That is part of the Ascension brand. That is the motto, the heart of what we stand for. When I pass away, I want people to know. I want people to remember me, not for the time that I spent on this planet, but for the things that I have done to contribute to society. My mama raised a loser, but I broke the chains. I wasn't made to be a player, I was made to build the game.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dirty Trunk Podcast, where the elephant is always welcome. It is me, your boy, Morton. Always here with me is the Aaron Mack. We're back in the lab once again. At 3:58 a.m. Starting a little bit early today. We just want to provide y'all with a good word and advice to get y'all motivated to do better, be better, because we do this for y'all, because we love y'all. And before we get started, please trample over that like and subscribe button. We're trying to just give back to the community, so help us help y'all. Yeah, that's all okay.
all right. Mark, how you been, man?
Been pretty good, man. Getting things in order. Been listening to a lot of stuff that's like kind of putting the nail in the coffin about like just like planning out your life, like take control over your life, just figure out what you need to do, where you need to go, and just do it. Like, don't overthink it, don't overplan it, just literally write down a task. When you complete it, check it off, move on to the next one. You finish that one, all right, go on to the next one. Just keep doing that until something big happens,
Yeah, I feel that, bro. I feel that. But sometimes when things don't feel right, bro, you gotta put yourself in the lab and figure out why, like what the next step is, bro. And I'm in the same boat doing the same thing, man. I'm like, yo, what? Like everything, like, and I'm hearing a whole bunch of stuff from like self development, like people saying like, yo, like especially like this one thing that said like, yo, you can't compartmentalize poison. If something is poison in your life, you need to take hold of that. Ooh, that's my alarm, y'all. That's my 4 a.m. alarm, just in case y'all thought we were playing about being on that threesome. But yeah. Um but yeah, man. I like just taking stock and accountability of the things that's going on in my life right now that I don't necessarily care for. Like I don't necessarily care for my job. And I'm looking to do something in the near future, man. That's gonna get me out of there, man. Because even though I'm going to school now, they started paying for the school, but I'm like, yo, that was like the incentive to get out. Because now, like, I realize like if I go on a dime, it's a 4 year degree, but if I go on a dime, it's gonna be about 8.
Yeah.
So yeah, man,
Yeah.
it's a fun ride.
Okay, so in an instant like that, right? We get so boggled down with I'm stuck in this predicament because this is the only route that I see best or I see fit for me, right? When there's 100 different ways you can go to college, you can go to school even.
Mm-hmm.
Uh People drop out and are still successful. Uh People drop out of high school, go back, get their GED and still
Mm-hmm.
get like master degrees, bachelor degrees, PhDs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like there's so many different routes that we can take, but like we be tripping over one, just one route that
That's
like
true.
we didn't succeed in, and we think it's the end of the world just because that didn't work out for us. And
Yeah.
I'm like, there's so many avenues you could take. Like you could literally throw your fishing rod out there and catch a fish. You might not catch the one you're looking for, but you'll catch something for dinner.
Yeah, I think for the most part, like we see the different options, right?
Mm,
And get this, we see the different options, and some people complain to you and be like, "Yo, the options aren't even there." And I beg to differ. I just think like most people are so stuck in what they're doing that they dismiss the options when they become present. Because, bro,
mm,
even when I was starting this thing,
yeah.
right? My counselor was like, well, my counselor was the one that brought it to my attention that if I go on my job's dime, that it's gonna take a little longer because you ain't
Mm,
taking classes as frequently as one would if they were a full-time student. So I was like, yo, what is that all about? She was like, so in order to complete class and complete your all of your credit hours in a certain amount of time, we usually have students do at XYZ. But if you do, you can take this avenue here,
mm-hmm.
and your military, so you can do this avenue here, so you have your options. So I'm like, yo, the people are telling you, and it happens to all. Like I could have easily ignored that information and kept it moving. Like, yo,
Mm,
I can't do neither one of those things. I got to do that, but like I could have did that. Like I could have just ignored her and just kept it moving. But like the options are there, they're present.
yeah.
Like so, yeah, man.
And that's interesting you said that because I ran into something similar when I was taking classes. I wanted to do my classes a certain way. Like I wanted to get rid of all the electives first. Like I wanted all those nonsense classes, the arts, the humanities. I wanted to get all that out the way.
Yeah,
And then like once I'm done with that, I wanted to focus solely on my core classes. So it'll be like a snowball effect. Like I
mm,
learn this, I get this out the way, I'm on to the next step of what that taught me to, you know, do web development because I was taking web development at the time.
yeah,
And the council was like, "No, I don't think that would be the best route for you because that route could probably lead to burnout and all this other stuff. Like other students did XYZ," and I'm like, but I wanna do I wanna do this route. Like this seems best. Like I feel like I can handle it, but uh they was like, you need those electives or whatever to give you a break from your core classes. And I'm like, I don't want to break from the core classes. Like I want to like learn this in sequence. Like I don't do the learn this and then take this break. And then, well, like, what if I forget something in this break that I'm taking? And then,
yeah. I feel that.
but they was like, they talked me out of it. But I was like, all right, we'll do it y'all's way since you feel so headstrong about this. So yeah, I feel like they're if you truly want something, you should always go for it. You should like fight for it even because there's gonna be times where like even the people that seem to be guiding you will, you know, I think you should do this. even though like they don't know your strengths, they don't know your talents. So if it's something you truly want, like you should really fight for it. Like you should really like buckle down and tackle it.
Yeah, what I was referring to though was like when you have the options lined up for you,
Mm-hmm.
and you just act like your option, the way you chose, is the best option and the only option. Like that's what I was talking about.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, you're
I feel
right.
that.
You're right. You're absolutely right though, because and sometimes you gotta go against the grain too.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I mean shit, hell, I was told that once in a time, uh, once in my life that um, once a man get married, that's it. Like you man should not do, man should not it was a sin to unlawful to get a divorce. And I was like, but they out here giving divorces, and I'm gonna get one. So, because
Yeah,
this bride got to go. I, you know, I mean, because like
yeah.
if there was a rule that I didn't break, then I wouldn't be as happy as I am right now. So
Ooh,
yeah,
ooh, ooh. Yeah. All right. Let's go there. Uh, because some people they would they would stay in that relationship. They would stay with that person
yeah, bro.
or that job because of some I don't want to say like moral high ground, but like for just for something they strongly believe in or something they strongly don't want to go against. And it's
Mhm,
kind of like we said in one of the previous episodes, like it's the same thing as holding on to that rope. Like you're doing
mhm,
more harm than good, and because you're religious or because you believe in, oh, my family had this problem with uh these type of things with addiction or with um relationships. I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna stick with this person. I'm gonna stick with this job. And they end up nowhere. They end up depressed. They end up miserable because they don't want to let go, or they want to they're holding on because they want to like prove something. And or it's very weird because it's like I know you feel that. I know like deep down something inside of you is screaming, "Hey, I'm not happy. Hey, this needs to stop. Like we're miserable, or this person beats us. This person is abusing us either mentally, physically, and we're still here because it's sinful to get a divorce. It's uh against my code to leave this person high and dry when this person has been there for
right,
me for
right,
so many years. But
right,
he shifted and I can't because he was just there for me or some stuff like that. We see in the movies all the time the person sticks with that person because they're comfortable with that person. They've
mhm,
grown up with that person. They see that person as that nice boy or nice teenager they were. But now that they're adult, they got hit with life. They changed. They're drinking. They're addicted to drugs, and you're still seeing them before all of that, but they're a totally different person now.
right.
But yet you're holding on to that rope, dragging you down, but you're holding on to it.
So, all right, man. My whole take on that, bro,
Hmm.
is exactly the same. It's like I told y'all, like I ain't from. I've made some mistakes in my past, right? Like
We've all
I
had it.
got I got married young, and I was with a chick, and I felt the same, right? Like she had a kid, and like I was raising the kid, like I was there from like when she was young, and I
Hmm.
got into a position where I wasn't happy. So what happened when that happened? I reflected, right, and I thought back on, like my mom and dad relationship.
Mm.
I thought about some of my uncles, some of my family, like yo, all good people, but like good people on their own, right?
Yeah.
Like y'all, like look, y'all good people, but y'all just should not be together. Like there's nothing here that says that y'all make a good couple. It was almost like y'all was betrothed. I was like, yo, I know
Mm.
people who were betrothed who got better relationships than y'all right now, man. Like yo, this is terrible. Like you got dudes that just like they just get bossed around by their women, bro. Like you got like all my life, bro. I've been seeing situations where you got like dudes like y'all been married for like 30 some years, and like we celebrating the fact that y'all been married forever. Like y'all just like came out of high school and just like took it to Vegas or something. Like y'all just got married like extra young, and y'all been together for a long time. And like no disrespect, but y'all hate each other.
Mm.
Like yo, for real, like I ain't trying to have that. Like like dudes in my family, bro, they just get bullied by their women, bro. Just let it happen, like it's a normal thing. I'm like, yo, nah, like I'm not about to be in a relationship like that. So what ended up happening, I found myself in a situation where I was like in the same spot. I'm like, yo, hold up, man, like this ain't working for me. Like she won't bullying, but it was almost like a dictatorship. Like
Mm.
like
Yep.
like I ain't got no rights. You can't do nothing. Everything I do is wrong. Like you not man enough. Like oh hold up, nah. Like, we not doing this. We not doing this. So like I broke the ultimate rule, bro. And Deron was telling me, man, he was like, yo, like I don't believe in divorce or nothing, but like yo, for real, like he's like I told Letitia, like I can't. I'm not like whatever we got going on, we gonna work it out. Like I don't care what it is, we gonna work it the fuck out. Like there is no divorce. Now like I wanted to hold that same value, but when my man told me, he was like, look, bro, I feel you, and called me a liar right now, but like I like in your situation, I understand why you did what you did. I was like, all right,
Come on.
cool. I take that. I take that. So like sometimes, bro, you can't like you're not gonna go against. You're not gonna go along with every rule, bro, and 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 just be fine with that. Like sometimes something's gonna have to like. There's always an exception to every rule, bro.
Mm-hmm.
There's always an exception, dog. So like with that situation, I knew for a fact in my growth and my development, there was nothing going to like there was nothing good coming out of that situation. There's nothing. There was nothing but pain there, and in fact there was pain on both sides. And when I understood that there was pain on both sides, bro, that's when I was like, all right, cool, yeah, this is the right move. This is
Mm.
the right move.
Yep. Yep. And until people come to that realization, like the only thing that's holding them back is them.
Yeah.
Uh, y'all have to get into when things like that happen. You have to be able to reflect. Like you have like Aaron said, he took a moment to realize, hey, I'm not happy. Uh, I'm not okay with these things. Things are happening to me that aren't benefiting me.
Mhm.
So things have to change. And
Mhm.
and it's that simple, but like we overcomplicate it to the moon. Like I've even overcomplicated like situations like that, and I'm like, just let go. And yeah, the person that you're saying no to, or you're letting go, or you're just distancing yourself from, they might take it well, they might not take it well. That's not on you.
Oh well.
Exactly. Like you're doing this move, you're doing this to better yourself, and inevitably in the end it's gonna benefit them too, because hopefully they'll be able to learn from that and find someone that's gonna uh take care of them how they want or whatever. It's not your concern after, you let that person, you let your feelings know, you let your you speak your piece and you move on from that. Like that's all
Mm.
you have to do. You don't have to check up on that person years later. You don't have to do any of that
Oh yeah,
unless you
no
want
doubt.
to. But
Not.
no, don't do it.
I strongly advise you stay to yourself. I strongly advise.
Sometimes you need that moment of peace, of freedom, of being to yourself. Like you
Hmm.
need that. I recommend everyone before you get to like a serious relationship, find not find yourself, but find your system or
Nah,
your
bro, that's it. That's it. It's right there. Find yourself. Like, cause I got into that relationship because I didn't know who I was.
mm,
I got into that relationship because I didn't know what I wanted. I got into that relationship because I was just I was riding the wave.
mm-hmm. Yep, and it happens, especially to people straight out of high school sweethearts. Uh, you know, in high school, they had that moment of separation when they had to go back home. But now, when you're with that person, just like when COVID happened, when you're with that person 24/7, you see their highs, their lows, their in betweens, their ins and outs, and you like, I don't think I like you the way I thought I did at the beginning. This is a whole new you. Like the person the person you don't get to see during the day when you at work, now you're seeing them 24/7 in all their glory, and you just like, yep, I think I'm mistaken. I think there was something I was missing here, and this is not it. This is
And it happens.
it happened.
It happens, bro. Like situations change people. Like for real. Like
Mm,
one of the biggest things that I noticed that messed up my relationship with my ex, right, was the fact that the information that I was getting was different than the information she was getting. And
mm,
there was no adaptability from her side to mine, and there was no adaptability from my side to hers, because I was growing on a spiritual level, and there was no way I was turning back, and there was
mm,
no way she was coming forward. So it is what it is. Like, yo, for real, like I get called shady, right, because of the situation. Like I left when, and she, they had a kid or whatever, and they were like, yo,
mm,
what about the kid? And I'm like, yo, like, what do you expect me to do? It wasn't my kid. Like, she told me not to contact her. I'm like, all right, that, like,
eh,
if that's how you want to play it, like, I can't fight for her. Like, I ain't got no rights.
right.
I can't take that to court. What do you want me to do? Like, I for real. Like, I understand it, but at the same time, like, yo, if people wanted me to put my happiness on the line just to stay in the relationship for the kid, I'm like, yo, that's not my kid.
Mm,
And I know it's harsh to say, but like, yo, I know that based off of who her mother is. Like I know that she just moved on, and they pretended like I didn't even exist. Like or
mm,
that person that this little girl saw as daddy for a long time. Like she just talked shit about him, and just made it seem like like you just like he just left out. He walked out of your life and like talk shit about me all day, every day. But anyway, like I left that situation because like you just said, like the like things changed because I
mm,
started looking through fresh eyes. And like, yo, for real, like everybody's gonna tell you like your happiness is tied to this. Like you can't be happy unless this is working. And I'm like, yo, nah, I'm good on all that, bro. You can keep that to yourself. But like I'm like, yo, if I'm not like, yo, for real. Then they said the happy wife, happy life thing, bro. I'm like, yo, what does it mean when I'm not happy though? What does it mean when I'm not at peace within myself? Like, yo, how do we get both of us at peace? Like, just because I gotta do
mm.
everything that you say everything that you want me to do, but what about what I need?
Uh, and that's where the divide comes in. Cause I don't know how, I don't know why. Well, I know how and why, but it's we teach that to our kids. It's in the society. It's in the, I don't know about the school system, but like we've been conditioned to do that. Like you get with a lady, or you get into marriage, and then it's like the man becomes the provider, the caregiver, the that we become servants to the lady of the household. We make sure she's happy 24/7. We buy the expensive gifts, we buy the flowers, we pamper them, all this other stuff. But then it's like, when do we have time to do that for ourselves?
Right.
Or do we ever do that for ourselves? There's some men out here that actually do, get, they don't get like the paint or whatever on their nails, but they get their feet and nails done. They get the cuticle things pushed back or something, or whatever they do in between the janks to keep them healthy and clean or whatever. Uh, but just just something that simple, just going to the shop, going somewhere, just just to feel good, just to make you happy. It's frowned upon. Like, for some reason, everything about a man is supposed to be rugged, harsh. Like, I was told, if I go out with coworkers or friends, I can't have sweet drinks. It has to be beer. I hate the taste of beer. It is
Yeah, I don't fuck with beer. Like, no. Mm-mm.
like, give me a Long Island, a blue motorcycle, mojito, or something, margarita, something. But if we out with people, if they're drinking beer, I have to drink beer. I'm like,
I don't fuck with beer.
what
I don't do
what
that.
is that? What is that? Why is that? What are we doing? What image are we trying to persuade here? I don't understand. I should sacrifice my taste buds for these people that I'm gonna see this one day, and they probably ain't gonna worry about my whereabouts or care about my whereabouts after we leave here. Like, what is?
Right.
But it's the social norm. It's the social norm to be this manly man, to push down the emotions, to be in this cage that we put ourselves in. Because sometimes we don't even have some men don't even have a lady friend. They just, it's been conditioned, like, from birth, from when you become a man. You're conditioned to think this way, to be this way, and you just work until you die. Like, literally, we are taught to be a servant to whatever company, to whatever relationship we have, and we literally just work until we die.
Yeah,
That's a man's life.
we're taught that there's only one way to do it, and that is the only way
Ooh,
to do it.
thanks.
So like, and back to what I was saying at the beginning, that all the options were laid out in front of you. You saw all the options. You were watching TV, you were playing video games, you idolized characters who did exactly what you wanted to do. You just never had the courage to actually do it.
Hmm. Hmm. Yep. Yep.
There
Like,
have been plenty of times where I saw like characters like I remember a movie, and Mark, tell me if you remember this one, but Kiki's Delivery Service. It was a Studio Ghibli joint about a young witch who wanted to go off on her own to start a business, the delivering packages on a broomstick. It was a Studio Ghibli joint.
I don't remember it, but I feel like either we talked about it before or somebody at work talked about it with me. That name sounds Kiki Delivery
But yeah, like she she pretty much went off at 13 years old to go be Amazon on a broomstick, bro. Like that's
Service.
literally where her whole goal was. Like and like I remember watching that movie as a kid, bro, and just saying like, yo, she got so much courage. Like, yo, how do you leave home at 13 years old and start a business? Like, yo, how does that
Mm,
work? Like I remember idolizing that. So like the information was always there, bro. Like, and no matter how many times like the people around you tell you, it, I just hit a point. I'm gonna get back to it. No matter how many times the people around you tell you that this is how things are, you know, and they know for a fact that there are other things. There are other, you know, that this is how things are plays into a whole bunch of different scenarios. Like, you know, because you just saying this is how it is because this is all you do. And that's the only thing that you. And then you got some people who ego so hurt that they couldn't do some another way. So then they just come tell you that this is how things are, so you can do it. So you can do it too, because they don't know how to properly prepare you to do it another way.
mm, mm. They put you in a cage even before you even start to come into your talent. But it's
Right.
crazy you said that about Kiki Delivery Service, right? And how art imitates life. Like we have, I don't even think he was a teenager yet, but there was a teenager, I think it was like 13, 12 year old that started their own business, and then to take it even younger, there was a kid that I think I don't know the dollar amount, but he made a good little, yeah, he made a good little amount on YouTube for just playing with toys.
Oh yeah.
Dude just
Um,
open by I forget his name too, but
I thought his first name was Ryan. That's all I remember.
yeah. Just playing with toys, just being a kid, recording himself, doing the things he loved.
Yeah, they were just talking about him on S2S, bro.
Come on.
Yeah, I learned about him when I was still with my ex.
Mm,
'Cause he a little older now, bro. That was a minute ago, but I used that as one of my key takeaways. Like, yo, like if this little kid can do it, like what the fuck are we doing? Like
right.
that was my goal. I was just like trying to figure out like, yo, how was it that this little kid, he's 12 years old. Granted, he getting pimped out by
His parents.
his parents, but you know, I'm just saying, like, yo, there's no way that we can't do the same or like work our way towards it. Like,
Right.
but you know, I was with a group of people who, you know, they were used to a certain type of lifestyle, and everything outside that lifestyle made them uncomfortable, bro. Like, and you know, I just want to go to say this, like, yo, you from a certain neighborhood, and you know, I can see it in them, bro. Because like when
Mm,
I was taking them to some of the events that I had planned, bro. Like you talking about people, you being around people who got money, people who doing things, people who making moves, like high status people. Like I saw them clam up, bro. Like I saw them uncomfortable, bro. Like they was just like, yo, this is. I was like, this is. It's all cool, but you know, I don't. This ain't me. Like it just ain't. This ain't my world. Like I don't feel like I belong. Like and like they kept saying that,
come on.
and it became a self fulfilling prophecy when you know when they actually didn't belong
Mm.
because they felt the whole time like they didn't belong.
How you gonna snuff your flame out before you even get started?
Yeah,
the thing is though, right? You wake up, you have I ain't gonna say you have all control, but you have some control over your life to the point where whatever impact you want to leave on this earth, whatever uh 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 things you want to accomplish, you just go for it. But for
Don't
some
go there,
reason,
Mark. Don't go there. You got all control. Unless you a child, unless you under the age of 18 years old, you got all control. Every decision that you make when you wake up every single morning is your decision. You got every right to make any decision that you want. Go ahead.
like you said, you have all control in that aspect to do what you want, be what you want, and live the life that you want. Like we've been taught this, we've been learning this, we've been hearing it from ET. Like you owe you. That's the whole summit thing that Aaron has bought that we've been listening to. Uh no one is gonna get you out of that rut, out of this lifestyle that you're living, paycheck to paycheck, working a 9 to 5, working until you retire. It's not gonna end until you get off your butt, you get out that prison cell, that cell that you put yourself in. You put these walls up, you put these cages, you put these obstacles in your way, and it's time to tear them down. Like no holds bar, put your foot on the gas and just go for it. Like all literally all you we've been saying it for the longest time. All you have to do is like just do it. And I know it's hard. I know it's you got to learn something new. You got to get uncomfortable. But in order to be successful, in order to get out that rut, you got to be uncomfortable. It's no avoiding it. At this
Yeah,
point, you should be used to being uncomfortable. Like
facts.
going to that job every day feeling dreadful. That's not uncomfortable for you. You would rather do that than to experience
Mm.
something
All right.
new.
I think I just hit an epiphany, right? Because you
Mm,
say and I'm listening to you as you saying that, right? And I'm not trying to play devil's advocate or nothing, or maybe I am, because like
go ahead.
I do understand. I think I understand where people coming from. It's like because we saying like you got to be uncomfortable in order to gain success. But when I go to work, I'm uncomfortable all the time. For a whole 10 hours, I'm
That's what I'm
uncomfortable.
saying. You're already uncomfortable, so why
So,
not?
so like, but yo, that's what you like. You saying that there's success and discomfort, but I'm uncomfortable all the time anyway. So I'm gonna be successful regardless, right?
All right, depending on how you define success, yes. If your success is all right, I worked this 9 to 5, and now I can pay the bills for this month. Sure, but what life is that? What life is just I go to work, I pay bills, I travel maybe once out of the year, and then I gotta put in overtime just to save enough money to travel for this one time out of the year, and then I just repeat. That's a life. Uh every time something fluctuates, every time gas prices goes up, I gotta work more overtime because I don't know how to, you know,
I just
budget, do my finances.
safe.
I
Um, I gotta add it to
mm,
there, man. But like, for anybody who feels that way, like you're not uncomfortable at work. I'm gonna repeat that. You're not uncomfortable at work. You are on cruise control at work.
mm, mhm.
You are uncomfortable during training because you've never done it before. Everything after that, everything else after that is just you just cruising.
Mhm.
You literally just cruising. And like you're when you some people, and I wanna make this plain and clear. You are you are mistaking discomfort for displeasure. You're looking at you're looking at, yeah, at this thing or going to work as discomfort, but in reality you're just unsatisfied. Like there's a huge difference between those two. Like you're at work just, oh god, you're at work because you feel like you have to be at work. You have to because you need money, and every time you need money, you feel like it's necessary to go ask somebody for it. Even though
Mm-hmm.
there's multiple things around you telling you that, okay, man, maybe I'm good at this. Maybe I need to go start this business. I'm passionate at this. Like, hey, bro, I've talked to so many people who are passionate about certain things, who are talented and they got certain skills. And I'm talking skills that people need, bro. And I'm like, yo, why are you not capitalizing on this? Like, what? Like, why are you here asking? You got your hand out for the job. Like, bruh, somebody just got fired yesterday for trying to take more time than what they were actually working, and like, bruh, like you every time you need money, you come and ask your boss for it. Like, yo, what is that? Like, you
Yeah.
have the power inside you to go do whatever you want to do. The only thing you need is the audacity to go do it. And you sit up here acting like your job is so hard, acting like everything, like, bro, like I asked somebody over the week, bro, and like they were complaining about something, and I looked at the girl, I was like, yo, is this your biggest problem right now? And she was like, what do you mean? I'm like, you really, really amped up and upset about this. But is this really your biggest problem? Because you putting a lot of energy into this.
Yeah.
And she was like, you know what? You're right. You're right. I'll walk out the floor real quick and I'm going to come back with a better attitude. I'm like, thank you.
But all
Stop
right,
complaining about this dumb shit. Go
so
ahead, Mark.
so that right there, right? How? 'Cause I don't know the time it took her to make that realization, but like she wouldn't have got there on her own. Like something in her would have kept those
God,
gears turning,
her
and
coworkers.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Her coworkers would have kept that thing running for like at least a month, plus. But that
No,
that
years, years.
years,
It's,
dang,
yeah, it's people with, ooh, it's people with 10 years of service, bro, who who's
ooh,
still
yep,
who's still in the same boat, bro. They still on that same stuff, dog. They like, yo, like they still complaining about the same thing. Their only conversation revolves around the same thing that's going on, has been going on since they started. And I'm like, yo, like there's something different that you need to be doing.
mm-hmm.
Like you would think that, you know, if I fail every single time, like, bro, you playing a video game and you start the level at the same spot every single time. If you playing a video game and on this one particular level, you can't beat this one particular level because you keep dying in the same spot. Like, bro, obviously you need to try something a little different.
Need to level up, small.
No,
uh,
bro, no, go ahead, dog.
I was gonna say before we get past it, but like it really baffled me how uh when I was on a certain schedule and I could get more hours, didn't want more hours, but I could get more hours. People were upset, like they were bent, like putting a whole lot of energy. Oh, why can't we get these many hours? Or and I'm like, you've been here longer than me. Like if you ain't got it together yet, what? That's not the
Hmm,
job's problem. That
that's a good point.
I mean, like we
That's a good
can't get
point.
overtime, and I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry you need it, but I mean, there's many other ways to get a dollar out here in these streets. I mean, don't turn to the streets, but you guys have a lot of talent. Like y'all do a lot of things outside of this job that could make y'all money. But because this job, I guess, is easy to y'all, most of the people they had a pretty sweet job. That was especially the your previous uh coworker or cohort cohort cohort.
Mm,
Yeah, uh, she was the main one. Vent about how she couldn't get overtime, and I'm like, do you need it? Seem to be doing well. Got a nice big old truck out there that you be riding in. That thing gotta take about 50 to fill up. That thing big. That's a big SUV.
yeah.
Uh, but yeah, like just we put so much faith into our job. We don't put any into our spiritual side. Our we don't put that much faith in ourselves. It's just the job got us. Like
There it is. We don't put it into ourselves.
mm-hmm.
There it is right there.
And I know we joke, but like a lot of people literally believe that the job is our Lord and Savior. That's how people be acting out here. Like
Hmm.
the job is what's gonna get me through life. The job is gonna work this miracle for me. The job is gonna answer all my prayers. But you have that control. You have that power to do it yourself. Why don't you? Or why not work towards? I mean, we know you can't drop everything right now, and you know stuff happens, but you have the control, you have the power, you have the strength, you have the talent to work towards it.
All right. Our message is like a little all over the place. Let's sum it up for the people, bro. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what are we here to talk about today? Because I wanna make sure that when somebody listens to this episode,
Mm-hmm.
like we got their attention. Now let's drive the point. Let's drive the point home. So what are we here to talk about today, bro? Because I'm about to eat it up.
Uh, for one thing, like open that door. Right now, we're all in a cage that we built for ourselves. Uh, and it might not just be us. Like we've been conditioned to be in this cage. We're literally in a prison. The door is unlocked, and all we have to do is open the door, and everything will fall into place. Like our dreams can be answered. Our wildest imaginative dreams can be answered if we just open the door and work towards it.
That's what we're here to talk about.
Yep. We're
I
here to
bet.
talk about unfuck yourself.
Bet. That's actually a book that
It it is.
I
It is.
suggest that a lot of people go read. I'm tired of this conversation.
Hmm.
Like just being real, I'm sick and tired of this conversation. Like I come across so many people on a regular basis who when they open their mouths, I get pissed because when they talk, they talking about things with no substance.
Hmm.
And like the only thing I want to talk about is is where do we go from here?
Mm-hmm.
Like I understand that this is where you are right now, but where do we go from here? Like what do we do from here? But for whatever reason, nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to bring that up. Nobody wants to go there because they that's real discomfort right there. So you find the things that you don't want to talk about the discomfort, like the uncomfortable stuff, like for real. Like you don't want to talk about money. You ain't really trying to talk about money. Like, cause I pull some people to the side real fast. You talking about working all this overtime, you coming in doing all this stuff, and I'm like, I'll pull you to the side and be like, all right, so now that we working this overtime, let's talk real money. And I try to make them real uncomfortable. Let's talk money now. Like, since you got a little extra in your pocket, let's talk about what you investing it in. Let's talk about what your plan is for the future. Let's talk about what your 5 year goal, your 10 year goal is. Let's talk about that, because where I'm really starting to notice is like, yo, you're even planning for, like, all right. So the only time people plan for their future is when they plan for their paycheck.
Ooh, yeah, yeah.
That's the only time people planning for their future. Everything else after that is up in the air. Everything. I'm talking like, yo, you got family around you. You got a whole spouse at home. You got kids, or you got people that you taking care of. But for whatever reason, you ain't got no 5 year plan. You ain't got no 10 year plan. You just like everything is in the air. You just like you just doing things and you just hoping that it works. We just like you just like, I'm living on a hope and a prayer. Then they tell you this, Mark. They tell you, well, I'm doing it one day at a time, man. One day at a time. Man, hold up. So y'all got to get to a point, bro. And this whole conversation was brought to you by a meme, right? And Mark sent me the joint, and I'm gonna be real with you, Mark. Like, when you first sent it, I opened it up and I looked at it. And I'm like, yo, wow, that's deep. But bro, I realized like a few hours later, bro, I didn't read the words to that Joker, bro. Like, I just looked at the picture. I just looked at the picture, bro. I was like, oh, that's deep, bro. So like the joint, bro, like he sent me, it was an elephant on a leash, and it was like the leash was like one of the ring to the leash at the end of it was like under a school chair, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Just like a little plastic chair, bro. We talking about a full size elephant, dog. And I was just like, yo, that is like it spooked me a little bit, like how accurate it was, bro. Like I said, at this point, looking at, I don't even know what the words say. And in fact, as I'm talking to you right now about this conversation, I don't even remember what the words say. So, Mark, can you remind us what the words of that meme was? Because I'm just going off of imagery right now, because that's how my brain works.
It says, sometimes the thing that is holding you back is all in your mind. And the crazy thing about the picture is like that's real. Like you can teach an animal to associate the leash with I can't go anywhere. And
Hmm.
you can tie that leash as long as the leash is around their neck or on them or present, you can tie that leash to anything. You can tie that leash to a rock and the animal or the person will just I can't go anywhere because the leash is on me. The leash means I stay right here. This spot. This spot is this is my comfort zone. This is how far I can go. You know. Uh, and it's insane to the point that like that same method is done to humans and we don't even know it.
Yeah.
Like you can put that image with the 9 to 5. You can put that image with what we were just talking about at the beginning. Being in a marriage that you're unhappy with, being in a relationship that you're unhappy with. We associate marriage with I'm in this marriage now. There's no divorce. Divorce is taboo. Uh, we associate the job, the 9 to 5, with I'm gonna work this job till retirement, and then I'll be free. I'll be free from the job. I can live my life or the little I have left. You know, and the things that put us in those situations is us. It's our mind.
So the thing that I get confused about is like if you thought yourself into it, why can't you think yourself out of it?
Hmm.
It's like nobody told you that you know this is the only way. You just made that decision at some point that this was the only way. Like I got so many people who just giving up on life, and they give up on life so much that they look at you like, you know, you just look at you like, yo, you like you
You
doing
lucky.
stuff, you doing stuff, and I want to be doing stuff. So I'm gonna tell you to do stuff because I think it's gonna stop you from doing that stuff. It's gonna make me feel better about myself.
Hmm.
So if I tell Aaron that, you know, because I see Aaron doing a lot of things. I see Aaron starting a business. I see Aaron writing books and making moves, and you know he happy with his life, and he got a lot of stuff going on. I see Aaron doing all of this. So if I tell Aaron that he needs to have a kid, maybe that might slow him down a little bit, and maybe it might justify my life a little bit. Hmm. Well, I tell you, you about to see how that's gonna go too. Because I promise you, ain't none of this about to change. I promise you, ain't none of this about to change. In fact, I'm hungrier now than I think I've ever been, bro.
Amen.
I
Yep.
think I'm hungrier now than I've ever been, bro. I promise you, there ain't nothing about to change here. So like, and that reality across the whole board, that reality is the same for most people, bro. I'm being real with you, Mark. So like the leash is already there. It's already there, right? And but the thing is, it's like in my mind, I refuse to believe that that's the case. That's it. And my rebellion to that belief is what's going to push me forward and not hold me back. But some of y'all afraid to break the rules. And shit, you know, school taught us not to break the rules.
Mm-hmm.
So in your community, the rule is that you go to school for X amount of years and you get a job and you work for the rest of your life. That's the rule in your community because that's all everybody has ever done. So you go and ask about the rules and you go start talking about breaking the rules, and now your community looking at you sideways like, yo, what are you doing? You
Mm.
walk into your community and you want to talk about something other than your manager or your supervisor, and your community looking at you like, bro, why we talking about that? You start talking about goals and the rules in your community. They about to, I don't mess with them no more. They changing.
Yep.
You start trying to make yourself happier. Your spouse like, what's all that smiling shit you doing? Like you gotta stop that. You ain't smiling because of me. Then I don't want. Then what you smiling for? And
Yep.
then they accuse you of cheating. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Hello.
I
Yep.
know a lot of it, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad because you, as the person trying to follow the rules, you believe that this is the only way. But no, it's only the only way because you allowed it to be. It's only the only way because you said it was. Like nobody else told you that this was the only way. You had the keys in your hand and the vehicle right in front of you to move into a different direction. You chose not to. Every single time, people choose not to. You had the information in front of you. You had the person around you. You like there are so many people that I know for a fact. Like yo, for real. Like I wish a lot of people could have learned from Muhammad when he was still when he was working with us, bro. I wish a lot of people was like actually talking to him about what was going on in that boy's head. That boy was a genius, bro. Like in my opinion, like the way he operated was like genius level. Like it just if I'm being real, like yo, when
Mm.
I had that conversation with him, because I thought he was just another dude doing the thing. Like he was moving fast,
Mm.
He was doing all this stuff, and like I remember when I first met him, when he first started working there, because I trained him and I trained him on the power equipment, and like I ain't had no conversation with him. He just saying kind of like antisocial or whatever.
Mm.
But when I came back to days and I saw my man and I had that conversation with him, like, yo, I need you to try to spread some of that juju to some of these other people, bro, because these
Mhm.
folks are sad. And he told me, he was like, yeah, I know they are. That's why I don't talk to people much. So you got people out here making their own rules. And I can't say one way or another. I can't say one way or another, Mark, if it's legit or not. Like I'm not a historian or anything. I won't dare when the company was built from the ground floor.
Mm.
But Kiki's delivery service came out the year before my boy started working out of his garage.
Oh.
Just saying. I don't know if he's seen the movie or not. I don't know if he's seen the movie. I just know that that Amazon had a huge special one time. You know, you
Mm.
can watch all the Studio Ghibli movies, and I don't know if there's a connection
That
there.
could
I
be
don't
him
know if
paying
there's a
homage.
connection there. I don't know if there's a connection there, but all I know is that
That's good.
the Kiki's delivery service came out before the company was started, dog. It's pretty much the same premise, bro. One day delivery. It's the same premise, bro. I'm just
Alright.
saying, dog. I'm
Alright.
just saying. I'm just saying, dog. But yeah, bro. There are people out here breaking the rules on a consistent basis, and when they do it, they succeed on a very high level, a very high level. And what I mean by that is like, and when I say break the rules, I don't mean like go break some laws or something. I'm talking about,
You
yo,
making your own lane. You making your own
yeah,
rules, your own routine,
go
your own
against
way.
go against the status quo.
Mm.
That's what we're talking about here. Go against the status quo, because some of y'all comfortable doing things that you shouldn't be comfortable doing. You're comfortable, you're comfortable going to work every day. You're comfortable driving hours and hours to get to work every day. You're comfortable staying at a place for 10 hours that nobody is talking about anything of substance. You're comfortable with that. You're comfortable when you need money and you gotta go work overtime and sacrifice your quality time with your family, your real friends now, your real friends, because you ain't seen them in a while because you've been working so much. Because every time you need money, you gotta go ask some imaginary god for money. And by imaginary, I'm talking about the one that owns the company that you keep asking for money when your actual guy told you that you are money.
Mm.
All right. That one might have been too deep. I'm gonna slide past that one. Um,
Nah,
but
to go any deeper, you can't even visit those friends, and they live right up the road.
mm,
They they
mm,
they 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 not even an hour. They not even 10, 30 minutes. They right up the road, and you can't visit them because you're always at work. Or you too tired. You come home, you too tired to do anything else. Uh, you work all these hours, and you can't even spend the money on yourself. It goes right to bills, right to some type of luxury thing that's gonna bring you happiness for that little while, and then you right back doing the same thing, right back working that overtime to get that next dopamine rush on that next luxury item that's gonna last about what 10 seconds.
yeah, usually, pretty much, it might last a week, if that. Like you buy a new car, you feel real good about that new car for about a week.
So you gotta take it to the shop, and they give you this grocery list of things that's wrong with it. You just got it.
Mm-hmm.
Grocery list of things wrong. We're gonna
I
need to
don't usually
change
have
this.
that problem. I don't know about that one. Like, I mean, I guess if you, well, I buy
I
out my
ain't gonna
car.
say wrong with it, but the stuff they gotta
Oh,
do to it. They gotta
oh,
change the oil, uh, rotate the tires, uh, put air in the tires, change the fluids, all that's gonna be like what, $200 in labor.
I don't know. I do all that at
I do
home.
that.
I don't know. I can't. I
Some
can't tell
people
you.
don't. Some people take that junk to the shop for
I
oil
definitely,
change.
I'm definitely about to take my joint to the shop for an oil change because I'm
Oil
like, yo,
change.
when I do an oil change, and this is a life lesson for y'all too. When I do an oil change, it's a whole day process. But
Change
when
the
I
oil.
take it to when I take it to the professional, when I take it to the professional get it done in a matter of minutes.
Hmm.
I'm just being real, my
I don't like how you fight
I gotta get
them.
I gotta get shit together. I gotta move
Mm,
stuff around. I gotta set me up a spot to get it done at. I gotta jack the car up by hand now. I gotta, get the oil pans. I gotta figure out where to dump the oil once I get it out. I gotta go buy the
mm,
oil. I gotta do all this stuff. I gotta clean up the oil if I spill it, if because I know I'm gonna spill it because I ain't my stands ain't that, my oil pans, I gotta switch them out and all that other stuff because I ain't got one big enough. I got to do all this other stuff, bro. Like when the shop do it, it's a matter of minutes. They ain't got to do all that. They already got it set up for me.
mm.
So yeah, I'm gonna take it to them. I ain't gonna lie to you. I, I'm not ashamed of saying that. Like I'm gonna take it to the professional because the professional not only do they know and they know exactly what they're doing, know exactly how to do it, got the perfect space for it. But the professional between the two of us, the professional is the only one that got time to do it.
Well, that's all we got for the people. Anything else you want to add? Any quick tips? Any advice?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I think I want to add something else to that. So I want everybody to understand that this conversation kind of sounded like a rant a little bit in my opinion. And this is literally me ranting about people who, for whatever reason, like I don't know what's wrong, but for like a lot of y'all have made up in your minds that you have obstacles in front of you. You have constructed these obstacles. You've gone out of your way to create these obstacles. And what I'm noticing is that most people, they have these obstacles because they want an excuse to say
Mm,
that they're not able to do a certain thing. And I'm starting to notice that a lot of y'all want to do what you're doing. You're complaining about it on a regular basis. Y'all going on smoke breaks and y'all complaining about it, and y'all do that for 4 days a week, and you much rather spend time with your coworkers than your family. You'd much rather be doing things that somebody else tells you to do than to do what you want to do. You'd much rather you'd much rather be working so much that you can't enjoy the life that you have. You'd much rather make the money that they tell you that you're making opposed to using your own skills and your own abilities to make the money that you were meant to make. You'd much rather do that. And the reason I frame that in that light, because if you think about it, if you're one of those people who've been doing it and you just been on cruise control, like the reason I framed it that way because now that I have, you have to think about exactly what I just said because that's what you've been doing. So you like think about it like would I much rather go to work for 40 hours a week when I got young kids at home and I know I'm missing their life? Would I much rather go to work and work overtime and spend all of my time there to make money that I know I'm not going to be able to see because it's all being held up by bills anyway? Would I much rather have a spouse at home that don't even know who I am because we ain't even spent no time together? Would I much rather do that? So this is all just a matter of having the audacity to change things, because we just said, like, you got some stuff going on that that you think you can't get out of, but in reality all you had to do was just make a decision to go into a different direction. You've already seen this direction happening before. There are people that you can talk to that can talk you through these things. You're not crazy, you're not mentally insane. There's some people I know that, they wanted to follow their dreams, but they felt crazy when their environment objected to that. Like, you have people that you can talk to. So, like, take the blinders off, y'all. Like, you don't have to be in a shot collar no more. You don't have to be there. Like, you don't have to be in a shot collar no more. You don't have to go, like, you don't have to. This is not a video game. There is no distance that you travel that, your car is just going to stop and just be like out of bounds, turn around. It don't happen like that in the real world, y'all. Like, I just thought about it, like, yo, we was driving one day, and and um and just talking about being on cruise control. We were driving one day, we're coming down the highway, and I just, like, had this imagination of just, like, driving past our exit and just keep going. And just wherever we end up, just stop there. Like, that was in my head. I was just like, yo, just drive. Like, what'll happen if you just drive? What'll happen if you just pass the exit that you used to go into? Just go out of bounds for a second. What would happen? What's the worst that could happen? You lose your job. What the damn do? You get another one. What the fuck ever? Like, it's not that deep. Your job isn't your life, and that's the problem that most of y'all been doing. The chair that this elephant was trapped under is the job that you idolize so much, the job that you have bound yourself to, that you have called your identity, the current position that you are in your life. You have called that your identity for far too long, and it's time for you to take that identity back, man. It's time for you to take it back. That's it. That's the problem here. You have made your identity something that's outside of you instead of what you are. And you need to figure out what you are, what you can do, what you're able to do. And then you make the decision of how much money you want to make. You make the decision of where you want your life to go. You have to make the plan of where you want to go in the next 5 years, the next 10 years, 20, 15, whatever. But this ain't 401k talk no more. This ain't. I promise you it's not. This ain't 401k talk no more. This trust fund talk. I'm just being real. So that's it, bro. That's all I got, bro.
All right, all right. Yeah, a lot of y'all are being what society tells y'all who y'all are. Y'all need to stop being Marcus I. Morton and be Marcus K. Morton, who you really are. We did. That's an insider. So this has been we've given y'all a lot.
Oh
This has
man.
been the Dirty Trunk Podcast, where the elephant is always welcome. It is me, your boy Marcus Morton. Always here with me is the Aaron Mack. And
Hold
before
up, hold up. We
huh?
we skipped announcements. We
Oh, yeah,
skipped the
yeah, yeah.
stuff.
Oh, yeah. What
We
we got
skipped.
coming up, man? What we got coming up?
So I just wanted to officially put it out there, right? And hmm, it still haven't hit me yet.
Come
I
on.
ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to you. Still haven't hit me yet. But I suspect that somewhere in the next 8 months, uh 7 to 8 months, I'll be a father.
Congrats.
It's finally happening. Finally happening.
Take it too.
So it is time to crack down. It's time to make some moves. And the moves that I've been making, they are not stopping.
Amen.
They are not stopping. I am continuously working as hard, and at some point, like I want to, I'm thinking about this stay at home dad method. You know what I mean? Like I think I'm a stay at home to continue writing and go and work on school and take care of the baby or whatever and do the important stuff because we all know that our job is not the important stuff. Just a little insider to tell you that. What you got going on?
Uh, Still working on the whole blender thing. I'm gonna start working in uh like a routine down to get everything mastered. Um, I settled on the three things that could really take this up a notch. Uh, the whole game development, a little bit of coding, and the music. Uh, well, the game development is gonna go hand in hand with the coding, but basically game development, graphic design, and music. And we gonna we gonna turn that into something. Not
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
what yet, but we definitely gonna turn that into something. Um, Other than that, just working on those things. Still working on that project you gave me. Uh, like I got everything down. Been working on the whole bendy part. Uh, that's about it. Um,
Doesn't look
Nothing.
right though. Like we still on the little tiny nub feet. Like did we make
What you mean? You
those
wanted to blow the
improvements?
feet up?
I just wanted to look like the picture that I drew. Like,
Yeah.
all right, cool. And the antenna that don't look like a scrotum.
Like
That's
I
all I
said,
asked for.
we can smooth that up. We can definitely
That
make that
wasn't your
more.
fault. That was on Kate. They did the best they could.
They did. They did pretty well though. They did pretty
Yeah, yeah,
well.
it's a good starting point because you can bring that joint in the blender and add on to it. So I like that
Most
idea.
definitely.
I like that fact.
Yep.
But yeah, man, that's it.
But yeah.
Time to
Uh
get to work.
Amen. All right. So, like I said before, this has been the Dirty Trunk Podcast where the elephant is always welcome. It is me, your boy Marcus Morton. Always here with me is the Aaron Mack. Before we go, please trample over that like and subscribe button. We do this for y'all because we love y'all. And always remember, those who shy away from addressing the elephant in the room are doomed to be crushed by the weight of it. We love y'all.
Peace. Love y'all. See y'all next week.